everyone, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time watching me, welcome. This video is Dessa's Homespun Scents pre-order breakdown. Her next pre-order is this coming Saturday, January 18th. And if you're watching this video, you're either on the fence about buying, or you want to see what I'm talking about blend-wise, or you're here to get some help with my opinion of blends and anything else that I'm not thinking of. I do want to first of all say I did have microblading done on Friday evening, so yes, I do know my eyebrows are bold. I'm in the healing phase. If you've had microblading, you understand what's happening. If you haven't, read about it and you'll know why these are so bold. They will not stay this way. They will heal, but as I said, I had it done Friday evening, and it's either you get me like this or you don't get the video kind of a thing. So I was trying to do this as a live format, so I could answer some questions if anybody had, or comments, or just that community back and forth. But I was hit with several trolls in the first 2 times I tried to go live, and I am not going to put up with that, and I'm not going to feed that negative energy. I'm certainly not going to bring that into the wax community. So just getting it out there. Yes, I'm aware that these are bold, and if it's something you can't handle, then please feel free to not watch this video. I'm going to go ahead and continue with this. So, Dessa Bonner owns Dessa's Homespun Scents, and she currently lives in Beavercreek, Ohio. If you're new to Dessa, she did relocate about a year ago. Coming up this spring, it'll be about a year ago, and she moved from Gilbert, Arizona, where her and her husband and family lived for several decades. She moved to Ohio to be closer to her daughter and grandkids, and her husband, of course, moved too, and she still has a son that lives in Arizona, but he also might possibly be moving back closer to mom and dad. But what I'm doing today is her pre-order is this coming Saturday, January 18th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 10 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Mountain, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 6 a.m. Hawaiian time. Why I'm saying Hawaiian time is I wish I was in Hawaii right now. So in Alaska time, I'm not really certain how far behind they are from us, but I think at least I should say Hawaiian time. I know Maui is 3 hours behind me here in Utah, because we were in Maui and we were 3 hours behind. So if you are, I have my laptop right here with me, so I can look at the list. I do apologize, I don't have any visuals today with the lists and the blends and that stuff. My husband didn't have time to print the list off, so I do have a couple of items from my collection just to show what's going to be available. There's a couple items that she has that I don't have readily at my fingertips to show you, but if you're a returning customer to Dessa's or new or anything, she has plenty of pictures on her website, dessashomespunscents.com, and if you're in the Facebook group, then she along with a lot of us who post pictures have plenty of that to show you. Just look at the pictures in the files at the top. So this is an unlimited pre-order. Nothing will run out of stock as long as she is open. My advice to any newcomers, or anybody really, have your list ready ahead of time. Get on, put your order in, because depending on the demand and depending on how big people's orders are and such, she might close within the hour, which is what she's been doing the last couple of times. So get in, put your order in, and then de-stress after that. So she's going to be offering several different shapes, 6 of them actually. Turnaround time is 2 weeks actually. Orders are supposed to ship on or before March 17th. And tiles are $2.75. Those are the little square ones that if you're new or if you're on the fence with the scent, go ahead and pick up a tile or 2, just so you can try that scent out in your home and get a couple, or maybe get a breakaway bar, which is the next choice that she has. Breakaway bar is about 3 ounces, and that's $4.75. The tile is 1.7 ounces, and they're $2.75. The next size after the breakaway bar is the brittle bar, which I have right here. This is a partially used one. This one is actually a scent that's on the list, I believe. This is a breakaway bar, similar to Brittles and different vendors that have these larger bars. They all have this similar mold. Those are $10.75. Those are 6.5 ounces. Tubs, which is my favorite. I love tubs. These are $12.75, and these are 8 ounces. I love these. One thing I do have to showcase with Dessa is this is Christmas tree from last pre-order. But what I want to show is like how clean this comes out, and just how it's easy to chop, pop back in there, and it fits. It's so beautifully clean. Not many smudges. The next two sizes that she has are custom loaves. This is the small custom loaf. This happens to be Cinnabon and Farm Fresh Raspberry Jam. These are $8.75. You can choose one solid scent, and it will not have the chunks in it. It'll just be the solid scent and whatever color she chooses to make that one. The chunks are 1 cent, and then your second scent, if you choose, is the second scent. Then the last choice is the large custom loaf. The small custom loaves are 5.5 ounces. This is about 15.8 ounces. This is the large chunky loaf. You can choose up to 3. This particular one is Coffee on Main, Farm Fresh Raspberry Jam, and Gingerbread House. So that's what this is here. I really love Coffee on Main and Raspberry Jam, and that was made a house blend this time. So if you trust anything that I say scent-wise, and you like coffee and you like raspberry, just give it a try. Even if you buy a tile, it's one of my favorites. This has the addition of Gingerbread House in it, which I have to give credit to Mary Stuckey for. I think she had a Farm Fresh Raspberry Jam and gingerbread together, which is fantastic in my opinion. But I thought, I'm going to put coffee on there too, because I love Gingerbread House and coffee. Gingerbread House is my favorite gingerbread of any of the vendors out there that I support and that I've tried. I love Dessa's Gingerbread House. So those are the shapes and the sizes that I have to show you. Shipping is going to be $10 if it's USPS, of course. UPS, if you order a super heavy order, she'll probably use UPS just because it's more economical that way. She does give tracking at, she does email you tracking at that time of shipping, and then when all orders are placed, she does combine orders. Order name and address has to match. She will refund you your overage for shipping after the package is picked up and shipped. If you happen to be local to Beavercreek, which is in the Dayton area, western part of Ohio, I miss Ohio. I lived there for 4 years. You can use the code local pickup, and you will not get charged shipping, since you'll be stopping at her place or a previously decided upon place to pick up your order. Now into the main event. This is the scent list. Some of these I will spend a little bit more time on just because they're a little bit more complex of a scent, and some of these I will just breeze through because they're simple or they're ones that most people have smelled, kind of a thing. Just for time's sake. Okay, this first one here is Apple Butter Zucchini Bread House Blend. She has 3 different types of blends, really. She has house blends, which are ones that she blends on her own on the back end. Then she has ones that belong to the Main Street Memories or the Inspired by Disney collection, or if they don't have anything in the parentheses after the name, that's just a single oil. So there's a handful of those on here, but most of these are house blends. Dessa is a fantastic blend master, so just trust the process. And if you feel like you want to try it but you're not sure, like I said, the best advice I can give is to just try a tile. That's why she offers a huge variety of sizes and a menu for everybody. And she really puts a lot of her heart and soul into picking this list out, so there's really something for everyone. Okay, so Apple Butter Zucchini Bread. freshly baked zucchini bread slathered with Nana's creamy apple butter caramel sauce. Now, this is a new blend, but I have had Dessa's zucchini bread. I've had her apple butter caramel sauce. I've had a lot of that. Dessa's very good at apple blends, and the apple caramel sauce and zucchini bread, I don't want to say that it's a blend that isn't out there by other vendors. If you like apple butter, apple zucchini bread, this one will be a good one for you. Dessa's zucchini bread, to my nose and in my home, is very creamy and rich. It doesn't have too much of a spice profile to it. It's very heavy bakery. Some people love Dessa's zucchini bread because it doesn't have the stinky or the spicy note that some other vendors have. In fact, there's only one other vendor out there that I can think of whose zucchini bread doesn't have a spice to it or a kick to it. Apple butter zucchini bread. Next is apple crumble. I've had this one several times. Baked apple, sweet cinnamon sugar, clove and nutmeg, decadent and buttery crumble topping, and a heaping scoop of vanilla cream. One of her best sellers. This one was a new blend. I think it was a new blend in 2023. You have to remember, Dessa had a pre-order last January, I believe, and then had to wrap it up because her and her husband were going to be putting their house on the market and such. So she had a pre-order, I believe. The one before that is when apple butter, maybe even the one from summer 2023, when apple crumble was introduced. So she's had it offered in blends, and she offers it by itself. It is a very creamy, buttery apple bakery, and it doesn't have any sort, to my nose, any sort of bread or cake or anything. It's just like an apple crisp where it has those little bit of beautiful spices, the apple, the creamy whipped cream on top, and it's good. I like it. If you want, in my opinion, if you want something that is a little bit more traditional apple and not so much bakery and not with a spice profile, this one might be one that you might want to try a tile in, or maybe just steer clear from, because this does have a spice profile in it. It's not spicy, hot, or too spice. It does have sweetness bakery to it. That's what I'm getting at, is if you're really not into apple bakery, then this one probably would not be one for you. The next one here is Autumn Equinox. This is one that's taken off by storm since it was introduced in the fall. This one is a beautiful blend of beach nights with vanilla voodoo and white birch. Vanilla voodoo and beach nights are actually offered independently on this list. So if you aren't sure what vanilla voodoo smells like, it's a really beautiful, sophisticated vanilla, Madagascar vanilla, and vanilla birch, and just a really nice vanilla scent that is a good vanilla scent. It's not vanilla extract or bakery or anything like that. It is a really delicious vanilla scent. You can blend it, you can melt it on its own. I am not a vanilla scent person, but I love vanilla voodoo. And then beach nights, Dessa does have the beach nights. It's her version of Bath and Body Works beach nights. So those two blended with a little bit of extra white birch is Autumn Equinox. And Autumn Equinox is, as she said, a really good, it's a really beautiful blend. It's a bestseller, and it's popular every pre-order. Next is Baking Me Crazy. I have had this one before, but it looks like she has a note here that she's reformulated it to take the vanilla butter fudge out and replace it with a richer vanilla buttercream. So Baking Me Crazy before, I liked it, and I think it's a very rich, heavy bakery, but I like that she is putting the buttercream in it to maybe give it a little bit more of a richer and heavier vanilla presence. That's just the only reason I can think of that she would take the vanilla butter fudge out, but maybe if somebody asked her, maybe she'll give a reason. I'm not sure. But Baking Me Crazy was a really good blend before, and it might be on my list. I'm not sure. I don't really have my list made yet. I tend to do that the day before the pre-order just because I don't really want to sit and revise my list 5 or 10 times. That's just me. That's how I operate. I kind of go with my gut instinct. I have my budget in mind. I want to go with my gut instinct. And if it makes the list in the first draft or so, and maybe I might move a blend around here and there, or get this size instead of this size, I pretty much, what I make is what I order. Pretty much. That's how I roll, though. I know a lot of you guys out there like to plan ahead of time, like to have it down on paper, but then also with that, I know that y'all revise your list quite a bit. At least most of you do. Next one here is banana nut French toast. We have paired our delicious banana nut bread with thick Texas toast, fried until golden crispy, topped with butter, powdered sugar, and a drizzle of syrup. Now, Dessa's French toast oil is really, really good. I'm going to turn the brightness down here a little bit. Her French toast, she has, I'm not sure if this is the same as Nana's French toast or if this is another French toast oil. I'll have to ask her because I love Nana's French toast. It's actually in my next empties video to do, which I've been putting off filming my empties video. But Nana's French toast is delicious. And if this is similar to that, then you're in for a treat with this one. If you like banana nut bread, I have not had her banana nut bread, but I can't imagine it being anything less than scrumptious because she uses really good quality oils and it's not going to be artificial smelling. Dessa knows what she's doing in terms of blending things. I think that this one would be good. I very well might get this in a breakaway bar. Not sure yet, like I said. Next is Beach Nights. Beach Nights is Bath & Body Works. She has a good one, true dupe of Beach Nights. Next is Believe. Believe is fresh baked cinnamon rolls drizzled with vanilla frosting, warm sugar cookies, and a forest of Fraser fir. So this one here, I've had this one before. It is cinnamon rolls and cookies with a little bit of pine. If that's up your alley, then you would like this scent. I know this one is a popular scent because a lot of people like bakery and pine. This next one is new. This is Bewitched Butterbeer, a creamy, frothy beverage created from brown sugar, rich buttery syrup, butterscotch, and cream soda. This reminds me a little bit of... actually, it probably is Harry Potter. And Harry Potter, I think Harry Potter's world, which I have not been at yet, the whatever it's called in Universal Studios, I think. That might be her inspiration for this. All I will say is butterscotch is a strong oil. And if you don't like butterscotch, maybe this is one you want to try in a tile just to see how that will throw and pull in your home. I can't comment much on this one because it's new. Next one is Blankets and Bonfires. Warm roasted pine cones sweetened with creamy oat milk, cranberry jam, and a hint of winter fireside. I have had this blend before, and honestly, it was not my favorite scent. There was something when on cold, it smells good to me. You can really get the separation of the cranberry, you can get the pine, but when that warms up after about a half an hour or so, there's something in there. I don't know if it's the oat milk, which it's surprising to me because I love oat milk. I warm it all the time in other blends. I just don't know personally if my nose is not a fan of the cranberry and the oat milk together. There isn't really much of a smoky aspect to it. That you would think that winter fireside would be super smoky, but to me, I'm getting more of the pine cone with the cranberry, which is really good together. But my nose is it's not in love with the oat milk that's thrown in there. But here's another situation where if you're intrigued by it, go for it. Don't let me stop you, please. I'm just giving you my honest opinion on these blends. This next one is Blue Sugar Bonfire. This is a contest winner created by Cami Shamblin. This is Blue Sugar, Smoked Vanilla, Toasted Marshmallow, and Bonfire Bliss. So this one is a good blend. I personally have not, of all the times that this one has been offered, I don't necessarily, I know Blue Sugar and Vanilla, Marshmallow, every vendor has done some rendition of that. in the course of their business. I personally have never had Blue Sugar and Bonfire Bliss together. I know Bonfire Bliss is super popular though. It has that little bit of smoky vanilla to it and just the tiniest hint of firewood. It's not as smoky as some other ones out there, though. I haven't had this one, so I can't comment any farther than that. If you like Blue Sugar, though, this would just be a really sweetened up, slightly smoky blend, if I had to make an educated guess. This next one here is Buckle Up Buttercup, which I have right next to me. This one was actually a new blend offered last pre-order. This is her Blackberry Buckle and Coffee on Main. So this one is really good. If you like sweet blackberry, blackberry cake, blackberry bread, it has a buttery essence to it also with sweet blackberry syrup almost to my nose with coffee. She does a beautiful job with blending these so you can distinctly smell the the blackberry bakery, and you can smell the coffee. So this one is just, it's fantastic in my opinion. She describes it as Blackberry Buckle is an old-fashioned dessert of rich and buttery batter loaded with fresh sweet blackberries baked in a cast iron skillet. And her Coffee on Main, which is just basically fresh brewed black coffee. So if you like blackberry and coffee, that is a good one. I believe it works well because it has the bakery component in it, which helps that blackberry not be as perfumey or medicinal. Sometimes blackberry can be medicinal to my nose. If you watch my channel, I don't talk a lot about blackberry scents just because it's kind of one of those weird ones where I have to try it before I will commit to a large size. But this one here, I knew it would be good because I have had Blackberry Buckle before and I love her Coffee on Main. I believe that one is on here too. I think it is Coffee on Main. I know she has it on here. Yep, because a lot of people like to use it as in customs, which I do too. Okay, this next one. This next one is one that I was tagged in a few times this week, or over the weekend, I should say. This is Burnt Sugar Cake, an old-fashioned baked from scratch cake that goes back to colonial times. Burnt sugar syrup is caramelized or burnt in a cast iron skillet. So please do not be swayed by the word burnt. If you have any sort of interest in baking or anything or caramelizing anything, it basically is just releasing the sugar that naturally exists in a vegetable or I think of caramelizing onions. Anything that has a high carbohydrate or sugar content can be caramelized. Hence, how they make caramel. Caramel is heavy sugar and it's caramelized, broken down, and that the rich caramel and dark, not smoky, not charred, not bonfire, not any of those things. It's just robust, rich caramel. That's all it is with cake. And I understand that some people are a little nervous if it's burnt. It's not. But caramelized, can some caramelized blends smell burnt to some noses? Maybe so. But I'm telling you, this does not. This one does not. Dessa wouldn't produce a product or offer a product to you if it had a burnt note to it. She doesn't want to do that, and that's not what's in Burnt Sugar Cake. This is one I've blended with raspberry. I've blended this with coffee. I've had this on with blueberry. I mean, you can blend this with any other sort of fruit or any bakery or coffee, or this would be good with gingerbread. I mean, it's just something that's a super rich caramel, robust caramel cake. It's delicious. It's satisfying. It's fattening. It's all the above. Burnt Sugar Cake is one of my favorites. Next is Butter Rum Eggnog. This is her Nana's Eggnog, which is a beautiful, delicious, true vanilla eggnog blended with a little bit of buttered rum. I'm going to try that one because I love her holiday eggnog or Nana's Eggnog, and I'm interested to see how rummy it can get. Eggnog is another one with me where it either is too rummy or it's too vanilla. Sometimes it can pull a little artificial to me. Dessa's does not, but I'm interested to see how my nose picks up on this rum. That's one that intrigues me. This next one is cherry crumble pie. This is fresh juicy cherries and a graham cracker crust and a delicious buttery crumble topping. So this one, I have had some of her cherries before. The one I've had winter cherries, and I've had I don't know if it's cherries Jubilee or what it was called, but I'm a cherry fan. I'm going to be getting this one. I know I am. I just don't know what form yet. I love a good cherry bakery, as does my husband. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. This is a super duper big time seller for her. Chestnuts and brown sugar, sugar cookies, and marshmallow fireside, one of her best sellers. It just is a really nice, sweet, rounded cookie with marshmallow fireside. This next one I'm interested in. This is chocolate dipped orange slices. Just like the oranges in the grocery store or Target, Walmart, etc. at Christmas time. I'm interested in buying this because I am not a chocolate in wax person, but I'm really interested to see how Dessa brought this one together. I have never had orange and chocolate in wax before, but I love that candy in my life. I have a couple in my closet that I'm saving for a rainy day. Out of sight, out of mind, I say, in terms of trying to be good with candy. Chocolate dipped orange slices. Next is Cinnabon. Now, Cinnabon is one that when it was introduced, it went right to the top of the bestseller list. This scent smells exactly like the center of a big, fat, doughy cinnamon roll with cream cheese frosting. Heavy on the dough, lighter on the cinnamon. And it really, truly smells like a Cinnabon cinnamon roll. Heavy dough, heavy, fattening to the max, just delicious everything. Cinnabon is really good. I blended it with Farm Fresh Raspberry Jam, which is also available on this list. Love this one too. I've had Cinnabon with coffee, Cinnabon with any fruit, Cinnabon by itself, Cinnabon with burnt sugar cake, Cinnabon with blueberry. Like I said, you can go to town with it. Circus Concession. This is not your average carnival or circus bakery blend. It includes notes of funnel cake, caramelized apple, and cotton candy, but it has a little bit of smoky bonfire in the background. So Circus Concession, this is a really good quality circus concession scent. Some of them can smell a little artificial or a little bit too candy apple to my nose. This one does not. This one is one of the best I've had. If you like circus concessions, give this one a try. It's a really good, rich, and robust, nice cotton candy, nice caramel apple. Next is Coastal Forest Pacific Northwest. I've had this one before. This is where the ocean meets the forest in the Pacific Northwest. Ocean mist, sea salt, fresh balsam, pine cone, and warm driftwood. This is a beautiful mixture of pines and salt and aquaticness. I love this scent. It's very good. It's perfect for fall, winter, spring, and summer. I mean, it's seasonless, really. It's a good scent. Next is Coastal Kale. This fragrance is fresh, green, and salty, uplifting ocean and cool fresh greens, where salt water meets the dunes and greens mingle with the sand. Somebody asked me earlier today how I would describe Coastal Kale. Coastal Kale is kind of a one-of-a-kind oil. There's nothing out there that smells like it that I have smelled. It's very strong, very dominant. If you are a supporter of Rose Girls and you've had anything of I can't remember the blend that Coastal Kale is the star of, but I'm thinking of Level Up. I'm thinking of Coastal Clothes on the Line, Speechless, excuse me. If you've had Speechless has Coastal Kale in it from Rose Girls. If you happen to have had that, that's Coastal Kale. Coastal Kale is strong. It's beautiful blended with lavender. It's beautiful blended with a lot of things. You just have to to know that coastal kale, what you have it with, coastal kale is always going to pull dominant because it's super strong. But it's one of my favorite fresh, green, aquatic, slightly salty. It's one of those Goldilocks, not too hot, not too cold, but just right kind of a thing. Next is on my list. This is Coconut Crunch Cronuts, a deep fried doughy cronut, which is croissant and donut, topped with toasted coconut and rich buttercream. I'm a sucker for coconut scents, though. Coconut bakery at that, and that one's going to be good. Coffee and donuts. This one is just her robust coffee with sweet cinnamon glazed donuts. I haven't had this one before, probably because I go right for just coffee on Main and I blend with it. But if you like a more of a simple coffee blend, this one would be for you. Following up with that is Coffee on Main. This is a Main Street Memories and House blend. It's her black coffee that is reminiscent of the coffee shop that's on Main Street USA in Disney World. It's just black coffee, but it doesn't have a bitterness to it. To my nose, it's not skunky or anything like that. It's beautiful blender. It's creamy, it's rich, it's perfect coffee. I'm a huge coffee wax person, and I have coffee every morning. I've been drinking my protein coffee in the morning. I am in my espresso era right now. I've been drinking espresso in the morning. I love it. I love coffee. I was a barista when I was younger, so coffee is part of my life. It is. I hit something on my computer here that opened up a thing, and I don't want it to do that, so pardon me. Trying to multitask here and tell you about my teenage years. Okay, next is Cotton Candy Spritzer. This one is a sassy blend of sweet cotton candy confection and effervescent fizz. You know, I think I'm going to try this one this time, and I can anticipate what it's going to smell like. It's going to smell like fizzy cotton candy. But why I say that is I had one of, I don't know if it's on this list or not. I had I think Jess Dickey's her melon cotton candy blend in a sample last time. I did not get around to doing my video for my pre-order that Dessa shipped out for Christmas time. I was struggling the last couple of months, and it was just one that I just didn't feel like filming. Not because I didn't want to showcase Dessa's work or talk about her blends. I just wasn't feeling it. So that was one of my samples I got, and I really was impressed with it. So I was thinking, other than the Circus concession, I haven't really had an outright cotton candy blend of Dessa's. So I'm going to try this one here. Cotton candy and fizzy. I know some noses don't like fizz, but if you can handle it or swing it, go for it, I say. Give it a try. Next is Cupcakes at Tiffany's. This one's been around forever. It's a super popular blender. It's not my favorite, just because I don't really know how to describe it, why my nose doesn't like it. You would think I would love it because it's cupcakes and vanilla and chocolate and all sorts of things, but to me it's just okay. But I do recognize I'm one of the few people out there in the wax world that does not like Cupcakes at Tiffany's, but I do have to say it's a fantastic blender. It serves its purpose, and those blends that does have that as an oil, I do enjoy them. I just am not one to gravitate to it and use it on my own. But I do recognize I'm one of the few that doesn't like it. So next one is Dreaming in Pink. This is a feminine blend of Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds, cotton candy frosting, crushed candy canes, and pink sugar. This one's going to be ultra girly smelling, hence the feminine blend. But Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds is Bath & Body Works, and I simply call it the marshmallow perfume. I know some noses out there in the community don't like Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds. I was one that didn't like it either until I had it in a few blends, and I really started smelling it, and I thought, excuse me, I'm sorry. And I thought, man, this is really it's a beautiful blend. There are just some oils and some blends I've smelled where the only thing I can just say is that's a beautiful blend. It's just, it encaptures the feminine appeal, and obviously it does too, because Dessa uses that as an adjective in this description here. Cotton candy frosting is nice and rich and heavy, sweet frosting. And then you have your pink sugar and your candy canes. This one would be beautiful at holiday time or even as a segue in between seasons, I think. You know, probably more from early winter into Christmas time, into your heavy peppermints and pines, and then even as a blend throughout winter time. I know in my home I'm warming peppermints and pines and Christmas scents. I do until March or the beginning of April. I love winter scents too, but this one would also be nice in summertime. Yes, we can blend and warm peppermint in the summertime. I do. It's delicious because it's got enough in there to where it doesn't scream, oh, it has candy cane, because it has to just be wintertime and Christmas time. No, next one is Fall in New England. This one is well-loved, bestseller. I love this one. I like to say this one is the non-coffee lovers coffee blend, because it is not nearly as strong as some other coffee blends that Dessa has. This one is, it's described as a warm and comforting blend enjoyed during the fall season. A fresh brewed latte with buttery pumpkin puree, nutty caramel, and a side of sweet cinnamon streusel. It has enough of a creaminess to it, a richness, caramel, pumpkin situation, a little bit of buttery aspect, a little bit of streusel to take away from the strength and the robustness of coffee. But the coffee is still there, but there's a lot of it. It's very creamy, very rich, very soothing and satisfying. I love Fall in New England. It's a good blender too. Next is a new one. This is Fantasyland Funnel Cake. A trip to the happiest place just isn't complete without stopping at the Hungry Bear to grab a delicious funnel cake. The aroma of deep-fried funnel cake covered in powdered sugar, topped with a sweet mixed berry glaze and a dollop of whipped cream. This one is a berry funnel cake. I am going to ask Dessa if her funnel cake is cinnamon based, because there are a couple of funnel cake oils out there that I know vendors use. There is the funnel cake, which has a little bit of a cinnamon note to it, like I said. And then there's another funnel cake that has more of a, I don't mean this in a mean or derogatory way, but a greasiness to it. Kind of like you go to the carnival, you go to the fair, and you're given that thin paper plate that's soaked with grease, and you have the funnel cake, elephant ear, whatever you want to call it, on there, sprinkle with powdered sugar, and have that whipped cream, maybe strawberries on top, or whatever you choose. That little bit of greasiness to it, there's that one too. I'm going to ask her, because I am interested myself, because side effect of microblading is it starts to itch, and I'm right at day 3. Around this time is day 3, so it will start to itch in the next couple days, so just pardon me. I am going to ask her, because I really, if it has a little bit of a cinnamon note to it, I know that that is not my favorite, but also if it's the one that has a little bit of a greasiness, more of a cakiness to it, or more of a bakery, I'm going to be all over this one, and this one's going to be really good with raspberry jam. So that's what I think I'm going to do. Speaking of raspberry jam, this next one took Dessa a long time to find this raspberry oil. This one is Farm Fresh Raspberry Jam. I know there are a lot of ones out there who love this one, and I know that Charity is one of those, if she's watching, loves this raspberry jam. The last order I got from Dessa, I think I got 8 or 9 little customs, and all but one had raspberry jam in them. So she knows already, stock up on the raspberry jam oil, because a lot of people use it with good measure. It's delicious. She describes it as sweet, slightly tart. I'm just adjusting here, and I have my computer and my ring light plugged in, so excuse me. Sweet, slightly tart, fresh raspberry jam made from red raspberries picked fresh from the farm and sweet sugar crystals. This is the most authentic raspberry I've ever smelled. No floral notes at all. One of our best sellers. If you are a fan of Vintage Chic Scents raspberry or Second and Spruce raspberry, this is that raspberry. That's all I can say. That's all I have to say. If you're a raspberry jam lover, you want to try this. If you haven't already done so, this is my favorite, bar none, hands down, raspberry, and I'm going to use it in my customs. Absolutely. Next is Farmhouse Pumpkin. This one is new. This is a rustic blend of our fall harvest farmhouse, which I got last time, which was new. Harvest spices in the kitchen combined with the warmth of rustic oak, cedar leaf, and sandalwood, combined with creamy pumpkin puree and Nana's pie crust. So she took a somewhat non-bakery but really nice harvest rich traditional fall scent and made it bakery with that pumpkin and that Nana's pie crust. This one will be good. I might get a breakaway bar in this because I love fall scents. If you watch me, you know I love my fall. And even though I have taken my foot out of the fall pool, I'm not warming anything right now in my home that's fall. This one, I think I'll get a breakaway bar in because old habits die hard, you know. Okay, this next one is 50 Shades of Graham. Decadent layers of graham cracker crumble, buttery brown sugar, rich buttercream frosting, and bits of toffee. I'm going to try this one because I don't remember this one being offered in a while. And if it has, I've skipped right on over it, but I think I would remember it because of the name. I like graham cracker. Some noses out there I've seen don't really care for graham cracker, but this one, it's good. Graham cracker is a good oil. It's a good blender. You could even take this blend here and blend it with whatever you want to, because if you already know you like graham cracker and you like a little bit of toffee, I think it would just be slightly a little bit of toffee to it, kind of similar to the toffee that's in Cupcakes at Tiffany's, which really isn't a ton. It's just a little bit. That's how I am thinking that this one's going to play out. That's my guess. So if I'm wrong, I'm so sorry, but that's just my educated guess. Next one is Fireflies. Now this one is one of her best sellers. And I think I have had this, but it's been a long time. So I'm going to order this one again because I want to see what this bestseller is all about. This is warm cedar wood, damp night air, campfire smoke, and the gentle sweetness of roasted marshmallows. So I think it's just supposed to encapsulate a summer night, which I'm all about. Next is Fresh Bread and Jam. If you happen to be on my live video that I attempted to film earlier tonight, I was talking about how I got into Dessa's wax. Jenny Dominguez, or Just Jenny, that's her channel name, she sent me a random act of kindness several years ago and had several Dessa's blends in there. I was so excited because up until then, Dessa had only had ready-to-ships. And if you remember those days, you had to be on and be lucky to get some of the blends that she offered. And I never was, she always has her openings on Saturdays, and I never caught it at the right time, or what was left over really wasn't what I was into. So Jenny, out of the kindness of her heart, Jenny's a fantastic woman, and she knows her blends too. She sent me some blends, and in here was Fresh Bread and Jam. And to this day, it's one of my favorite bread and jam. It's simple, but it's so spectacular. It blends beautifully too. Any strawberry, any fruit, any other bakery, it blends beautifully. It is just straight from the oven bread and strawberry jam. You can smell the crustiness in the bread in this. I have several breakaway bars in this, but I know I'm going to pick up another one because I always like to have this in my collection. Next is Georgia Peach. Now, Georgia Peach, my husband, Marty, he only comments on for a couple of reasons. One is if it's disgusting and nauseating or smells like vomit, which this does not. Number two is if he really, 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 really loves it. Every time I have in the past warmed Georgia Peach, my husband would say, I really like that peach. I really like that scent. This is another one that I have to forewarn you. If you do use this as a blender, be prepared for the peach to take over. Dessa has even told me, because I've complimented her so many times on this peach, that her house smells like peach for days after she pours this because it's so, so strong. If you are looking for a non-cat pee, non-artificial peach, please give Georgia Peach a try. It is spectacular. Take it from a husband who only opens his mouth for 2 reasons. Peach, so good. Next is Gingerbread House, which I briefly alluded to earlier today as one of my favorite gingerbread oils out there and blends. I will never be without Gingerbread House, and I really appreciate that Dessa adds it to her list, even if it's not her fall or winter pre-order. Gingerbread is delicious all year round, and it is really good blended with raspberry jam and coffee. I have been saving this. This is a big loaf, of course, and fun fact, this is my very first large loaf that I've ever bought from Dessa, but I am in love with these oils so much, I went for it. So thank you, Mary, for putting raspberry jam and Gingerbread House together. So Gingerbread House is described as fresh from the oven, spicy, homemade, fresh gingerbread blended with cinnamon, vanilla bean, ginger, and molasses. So if you like a rich, aggressive, punch you in the nose, true gingerbread, this one's your girl. Try it. If you've ever made any gingerbread, not the houses that you build with icing and stuff, but true gingerbread, whether it's cupcakes or ginger snaps or cookies, anything you have to use molasses and ginger in, that robustness. Robust is not enough of a word to describe this gingerbread. It is my favorite. It's delicious blended with coffee. It's delicious with anything, but I also love to warm it on its own. It's also one of Marty's favorite scents. So take it from somebody who's super picky. He lets me know, trust me. Next is Graveyard Mist. I have this one. This one is an earthy atmospheric scent of petrichor, wet grass, fresh soil, windblown leaves, raw cedar wood, and smoked vanilla. This one is that spooky, atmospheric, damp smelling dirt. Petrichor is the dirt after a rain. It smells like potting soil to me. If you don't like that, don't get this one, because the petrichor is dominant in this blend. But there's also enough other stuff added into it to where this is a perfect Halloween, perfect spooky weather. Those first days of fall where it's hoodie weather still, but it's hayride time or spooky time, or if it's even warm on Halloween where you live. It's not here. It sometimes snows by Halloween here. But if it's one of those scents that you like to create that ambiance in your home, or you're having a Halloween party or something, this is a perfect one. I love Graveyard Mist. Next is Just Peachy, which we have paired our fresh baked sugar cookies with authentic Georgia peach. I am going to get this one because I want to see just how did Dessa do it? How did she balance her cookie with her peach? Because peach cookies, that's not one that's offered a lot, because peach is such a scary oil for a lot of consumers. But Dessa has a really good authentic peach. So once again, if you want to try it, if you're interested, try a tile. If you don't like it, then you know you're not out of a lot of wax and you're not out of a lot of dollars. So that's how I look at it. Next is Caramel Kitchen. I've never had this one, believe it or not. This one is the unmistakable aroma of the delicious and freshly made caramel treats at the Werther store in the Germany Pavilion in Epcot. So, caramel. This one could be a beautiful blender also. I've never tried this one. I might have to make this one the time that I try it. We'll see. Next is La Patisserie, which I have had several times before. This is even one that Miss Jenny sent me several years ago. This one is fresh from the oven pastry dough, caramelized sugar, sweet buttercream, spicy cinnamon, and rich vanilla. So this one here, it does have a little spice profile to it. So it's not completely knock you down, outrageously spicy or hot cinnamon or anything like that, but it does have a little bit of a spice kick to it. But I like it. I am I'm not afraid of cinnamon in my life. I'm not afraid of cinnamon in my bakery. In fact, I think it enriches a lot of bakery scents. So La Patisserie, it's one of her best bakery sellers. She doesn't offer it all the time, so try it this time if you haven't, if you're interested. Next is lavender cotton candy frosting. Lavender collides with sweet cotton candy frosting. That one, if you are a lavender and cotton candy fan, that one is a common one that I feel is offered by a lot of other vendors. But the thing is Dessa doesn't do a lot of lavender because I don't really remember if she told me she doesn't care for lavender or if she doesn't think she's good at blending lavender. I honestly don't remember what she said, but I think she's a fantastic blender, and I cannot wait. She's got a couple other lavender blends on here. I can't wait to try her lavender. I know that when she was asking for blend requests, I saw several lavender blends be requested, and she picked up a beautiful lavender bakery in this next one. So lavender lovers, get ready. This next one is lavender fireside cookies. Sweet sugar cookies, fresh lavender, and marshmallow fireside. This is another one that is a classic. It's been done by other vendors, but I'm excited to see Dessa's take on this lavender. I personally love lavender in bakery. It's one that I have had on my customs list by other vendors, and other vendors just excel so beautifully with lavender bakery. And I like that she rounded it out with that sweet and slightly smoky marshmallow fireside. And I think that one is going to be the icing on the cake for this blend. I can't wait to try this one. Next is lemon cream puff. This is just lemon cream with puff pastry and powdered sugar. That one, I like Dessa's lemon blends. My favorite lemon blend that she offers is Lemonlicious, which is not on this list this time. But lemon cream puff. Sorry. Sometimes if you stare at a light long enough, you sneeze. My husband, when he goes outside in the summertime, especially because the sun is brighter, he'll sneeze. Fun fact. Lemon cream puff. I haven't had that one, but I really do like Dessa's lemon and lemon bakery scents. This next one is lemon curd. Lemon curd is that Goldilocks again, or unicorn, or whatever you want to call it, where it doesn't quite live in the strictly fruity. It doesn't quite live in the bakery world. It's one that can go either way. You can really amp it up and make it fruity, or you can really cream it up and make it bakery. So lemon curd is lemon custard with fresh lemon juice, lemon zest, sugar, and vanilla. Lemon curd. I like lemon curd. Lemon curd and gingerbread works well together. Lemon and ginger. They do. Library of Enchantment. Now this one I've had. This is century-old books of aged parchment with leather-bound spines, gently smoldering remnants of a massive fireplace come together in this enchanting library blend. Library of Enchantment. I believe that one is inspired by Belle from Beauty and the Beast. A full disclosure with this one does have a heavy leather note to it. I have had this blend and it's a little bit too leathery for me. Leather is one of those very particular oils where you either like it or you don't, in my opinion. If you're interested with this blend and you're not quite sure how leather is going to be, whether you're new to it or you're not sure how this particular blend is going to be, I can just advise you to get a smaller quantity of it, because this one will come back. It's just a matter of time before it does. It's a popular scent, but to me, my nose, the leather is a little bit too much for me. But I wish I liked it because I love Beauty and the Beast. I love to read. I'm a bibliophile. I wish one of my... If Beauty and the Beast was real and it could be something that we could live in for a day, I would want to just be in the library that Beast gifts to Belle and swing on the ladder and looking at the endless books. Like that is heaven to me. Like I love that. I love a fireplace. I love reading. Love books. That's what that makes me think about, is just that scene, you know, when Beast is starting to fall for Belle and he gifts her the library to try to show that he is soft and he is caring. Even though she's his prisoner, she has that love of books and he can give that to her. So, next, Magical Journey. This one is fasten your seatbelt as you soar across the tops of waterfalls, glide over the ocean, and through an exotic rainforest on the back of a magical banshee. This flight of passage inspired blend captures the essence of fresh aquatic notes, cool sea breeze, citrus with moss and damp earth. This one I'm going to try again. I've had this from another vendor, and I honestly don't remember what it smells like, but I remember it maybe being a little bit green, citrus, fresh. This one is super popular. I know it is. I'm going to try this one. So if you like the Flight of Passage ride, if you've ever been on it, I haven't been to Disney World since I was in high school. So one of these days I'll get Marty there. He's been to Disneyland. I don't want to go to land. I've been to the mothership world, and that's where I want to go again. Although we do live closer to Disneyland, but I want to go to Disney World. Okay, this next one is spectacular in my opinion. This one is Main Street Blueberry Waffles. This one is light and fluffy Belgian waffles topped with a helping of sweet blueberry compote. This one smells like Eggo blueberry waffles and takes me right back to age 5 and 6 when I was obsessed with Eggos and put so much syrup on it. You know, the adult me that watches my sugar intake would scream if I saw how much syrup I put on my Eggo waffles when I was a kid. But hey, you know, to be a kid again. This one is what I'm going to buy. I love her blend that has this in it. I think is called Wish Upon a Star, or yeah, Wish Upon a Star. It is delicious. I have went through 2 tubs of Wish Upon a Star, which has this in it, but I'm going to get another tub of this if I don't get a bigger size, because I love this blueberry waffles. Like I said, if you like the smell of Eggo blueberry waffles, this is what it smells like. Next is a new scent. This is Mango Gelato Waffle Cone. A golden waffle cone topped with a scoop of refreshing mango gelato. Mango is one of those oils that I don't like most of the time. I don't know what it is with it. I like mango in my regular life. Mango is a delicious fruit. I love it. But I don't like it. It doesn't translate well to me in wax. But I think this one would be creamy and rich. She has a really good waffle cone oil, in my opinion. So it's a new one. Maybe it would surprise me, but maybe I'll get a sample with it in it, and then I can see what it's all about. Maybe. Put it out in the universe. Okay, next is Nana's Key Lime Pie. This is Nana's Delicious Key Lime Pie, featuring flaky pie crust with a sweet, creamy filling bursting with zesty tart lime juice. Now, my husband, who's downstairs underneath me right now in the living room, isn't a key lime or lime wax fan. So I don't talk a lot about key lime or lime on my channel, other than to tell you that Marty complains about it. But this one I'm going to give a try because I've never had Dessa's lime before. But I like lime. Lime is really good. I love lime. So that one's going to be coming home with me. This next one I've had also. This one is Nutcracker Sweet. This one is super popular. It's a delicious holiday blend of fresh from the oven gingerbread cookies, buttery sugar cookies, cinnamon rolls, gingerbread sweet cakes, and sweet vanilla frosting. Now, if you are a gingerbread fan, but you aren't crazy about the spiciness that comes along with traditional gingerbread, Nutcracker Sweet is right for you because it has a lot of creaminess to it, rich bakery to it, and sweetness to it to offset the spiciness and robustness of gingerbread. This one is for you. I've had this. It's knowing how much I love the spicy and aggressive gingerbread, this one wasn't quite enough for me, but I do respect the fact that this is heavy bakery gingerbread. Next is Orange Grove. This one is really good. It's authentic orange. Fresh squeezed, zesty, juicy oranges, freshly picked from the orange grove. This one would go well with coastal kale. In fact, that might be on my list. I'm kind of in my head going here. Another one that would be good on here with coastal kale, in my opinion, is Pacific Wharf. Pacific Wharf is coming up a couple down here, but if you're taking notes at home and you're thinking about what blends with coastal kale, Pacific Wharf and orange. So you can even smell the orange peels in Orange Grove. It really is it's the truest, most authentic orange oil that I've smelled at any vendor. Next is Orange Kiss Cupcake. This is a warm vanilla cupcake with orange cream filling and sweet cream frosting. That one, I bet that's delicious. I haven't had her version of it, but I love a good orange bakery. It's so rich and creamy. Reminds me of dreamsicles and being a kid. Pacific Wharf, that one is Salty Sea Air, frozen pineapple whip, Orange Grove, and waterlogged wood from the pier. It's very, if you like saltiness with a little bit of citrus, this is your friend here. I think it's delicious. I've had it before. It's a really good summertime, springtime scent, or cleaning day, or you don't know what you want to warm, but you know you don't want bakery and you don't want earthy, and you don't really want straight fresh. You want a little bit of fruitiness to it. Pacific Wharf. Next is Palo Evergreen and Orange. We have Palo Santo, Siberian Pine, Fraser Fir, and Sweet Oranges. That one's going to come home with me because I think that's just a very intriguing blend of oils together. Dessa does really well with pine, hence the original Christmas tree, which is pine and Fraser. This is Siberian Pine and Fraser. So if you like your pine, orange and pine go beautifully together. Palo Santo. This next one I'm super excited about. This is peanut butter and jelly. This one is rich and creamy peanut butter and sweet strawberry jelly atop thick slices of fresh bread, just like Mom used to make. Oh, I bet that would be good with farm fresh raspberry jam. I know there's strawberry in here, but I think what I might do is I'm going to get this one with farm fresh raspberry jam and maybe one of these with coffee, because, you know, I love bakery. I love coffee. I'm just talking out loud about what I think I might want, but I know there's strawberry and jelly in here. However, strawberry and raspberry go beautifully together. So that's just what I'm thinking in my head. This next one is pine cones and sugar plums. We have roasted pine cones, which is fresh pine cones, hints of sweet vanilla, a whisper of smokiness, and a forest backdrop. Pine cones have been used like crazy now in wax. So if you haven't smelled it yet, if you like pine, but sometimes straight strong pine like Christmas tree scents are a little bit too much for you, then roasted pine cone is more of a creamy woodsy pine. I really like it a lot. It is blended with sugar plum fairy, which is sugared plums, black pepper, and holiday spices, which I think I might have bought that one last time. But I'm going to try this one because I'm interested how that sugar plum fairy will go with the pine. I think that would be good. Next is pineapple frozen whip. This is a Dole Whip. If you've ever had Dole Whip, you used to be able to just get it at Disney resorts, but now you can get it because Dole sells it to ice cream shops and frozen yogurt shops and places. So this one, if you don't necessarily like pineapple, this does have vanilla ice cream in it, so it does have a little bit more of a creaminess and richness to it. Next is Pirate Voyage, which is hands down, bar none, my ultimate favorite fresh blend from Dessa. Pirate Voyage is reminiscent of Pirates of the Caribbean Ride from Disney. This is sea spray, waterlogged old wood, cannon smoke, and damp, musty water captures the atmosphere and spirit that comes to life in the pirate ride. So this one here, I know several of you over the years have told me you tried Pirate Voyage because of how much I yapped and yapped and yapped about it. Well, I'm here still yapping because I love Pirate Voyage. It really smells like an indoor water ride. There really isn't anything else to it. There's nothing else that smells like it in the world. It's indoor water ride with a little bit of cannons in the background. I think it reminds me of being a kid going to amusement parks, and there was in Pittsburgh, where I'm originally from. I'm from south of Pittsburgh, but it's just easier to say Pittsburgh. There's an amusement park called Kennywood. And in the olden days, when you walked right through the gate, you would be just right in your face is this old water ride called the Old Mill. It does not exist anymore. It's still a water ride. I don't even know what it is now. They did turn it into a Garfield's themed ride. I honestly don't know what it is now, but the Old Mill was an old indoor water ride, and it smelled just like it. So even though this one is Pirates of the Caribbean because it does have the smoky cannons and that stuff in it, Old Mill doesn't have that, but to me, that mustiness, that water, and that wood is there. Yes. This next one I'm super excited for. This is Pretzel Cart. Dessa is really good at pretzel blends. This one is freshly baked, chewy, Mickey-shaped pretzel, Dessa with butter and salt, dipped in rich vanilla buttercream and crunchy toffee. Yes, ma'am, I'll take a load of them because I love her pretzel. Pretzel with butter and just a little bit of salt on top. There's nothing better in my opinion. That one I can't wait for. This next one is pumpkin butter oat milk. This one is a delicious blend of pumpkin butter bake, which is buttery pumpkin, sweet spicy cinnamon, the sweetness of brown sugar, and creamy vanilla, blended with our pumpkin oat milk, which is fresh pumpkin puree, blended with warm toasty oat milk creamer, and a very subtle dash of nutmeg and vanilla. This one is, I've had the pumpkin oat milk, and it to my nose, I think it needed a little bit more pumpkin because it was just pretty much oat milk to me, which I'm not complaining about. Not everything has to be robust and strong, but just my taste and what I like in my home, what works the best, was a little bit more pumpkin. Blended with her pumpkin butter bake, which has a slight spice profile to it, not very much. If you like more of a creamy pumpkin puree that's slightly sweetened, this one would probably be for you. Pumpkin butter oat milk. Next one is pumpkin pecan waffles. I'm not going to talk about that one because you either like that one or you don't, or you maybe haven't tried it yet. It is one of my favorite oils. It blends with anything and everything. It's seasonless, it's delicious, it's rich and robust and fattening. This next one, I'm very honored that Dessa took a custom that I have had her make the last 3 or 4, maybe not 3 or 4, maybe 2 or 3 pre-orders and make in a custom for me. She took my raspberry jam and coffee on Maine and made it into a house blend called Raspberry Jam Latte. This one is our delicious coffee on Maine and farm fresh raspberry jam. If you have never had raspberry and coffee together and you like both of those notes, try a tile in this or a breakaway bar. I'm getting a big boy, because even though this one has gingerbread in it, I'm still getting a big one because I've ordered it every pre-order and I absolutely love raspberry and coffee together. And if you try it and you hate it, feel free to let me know, hey, it's not for me. I don't like it. But you know what? I really hope you do, because the raspberry just complements the coffee and vice versa. The coffee complements something in the raspberry. It's so good. If you ever have the white chocolate raspberry coffee creamer in coffee and you like it, it's that, except it doesn't have that creamy white chocolate business in it. Next is Resort Magic. This one is a Disney one. This one is a familiar scent when you step inside the lobby of some of your favorite deluxe hotels. Green clover and aloe. This one's pretty simple. I haven't had this in a while because it hasn't been offered in a while, actually. I'm going to be grabbing some of this because it's been a minute. Green clover and aloe. That's a blend that I think is a single oil, but Dessa does something else to it. Actually, no, she doesn't, because it's not a house blend. This is a single oil. It's green clover and aloe. So if you've ever had it before, this one is what they use in some of the lobbies at Disney resorts. Next is Royal Strawberry Palo Santo. This is summer paquette. What is her she has three, her name is Summer, I think Summer Ellis Paquette, I think. I don't know why I thought about that for a second. But Summer Paquette's blend. I've had this one before. It's good. It's strawberry pound cake with Palo Santo and sugar cookies. And it just sounds as delicious as it is. And if you like strawberry pound cake, go for this one. You can't go wrong. This next one, Sacred Grounds, one of my favorite coffee blends. This one is almond cream baguette, which I've yapped about on here many, many times before. I love almond cream baguette, and with coffee, yes please. It's like amaretto. Very, very good. It's almond cream baguette with fresh ground coffee and cinnamon streusel topping. This one was a new one a couple of times ago, and yes please, yes please. It is delicious. It's got just enough of an almond presence to it and enough of a coffee presence to it. It's delicious and rich. And I'm going to blend it with raspberry jam. But you could have guessed that if you if you picked up on my foreshadowing at all. This next one is Salty Senorita, a new one. This is a blend of Margaritaville, which is salt on the rim, cold and refreshing, sweet and tart, lime-infused margarita, with a backdrop of salty sea air. So if you like a really good salty margarita, go for this one. Seaside Lavender Linen. This is a new blend. This is warm salted ocean spray, sun-weathered driftwood, clean laundry soap, and fresh fields of lavender. This one I'm going to be getting because I really, really, really like lavender laundry. Very good. Next one is Shipwreck Island. This one is Beach Nights, Bonfire Bliss, Vanilla Voodoo, and Salty Sierra. We've got another Beach Nights one here. If you like Vanilla Voodoo, Beach Nights, any of these things here, this one's for you. I haven't had this one before. I'm trying to pick up the pace a little bit here because I'm already at an hour and 10 minutes here. Shut the Front Door. This one is Strawberry Pound Cake, Sweet Macerated Strawberries, which is on this list too, I'm pretty sure. Farm Fresh Raspberry Jam, and Deep Fried Funnel Cake with New Orleans beignets. Super duper fruity bakery. Delicious. I've had it before. If you like any of those notes, try this one. You'll really like it. Sinister. Raw cedar wood, chestnuts and brown sugar, Palo Santo, and vanilla voodoo. That one sounds really, really good. A vanilla woodsy situation. Snowed In. I've had Snowed In before. It's very good. Snowed In is the scent of fresh fallen snow, balsam, evergreen needles, cranberries, and spices with a fire in the fireplace. It is just like it says. It's everything we love about holiday scents in one. Very good. This next one, though, however, is one of my favorite scents that Dessa has ever offered that is not bakery or fruity. This one is Snowflakes and Sleigh Rides. This one I've talked about once, but I didn't really get to put into words what this scent means to me and how just freaking fantastic it is. This one is The Ground is Covered in Fresh Fallen Snow. Wintry pines all around you. The air is cold and crisp and snowflakes are falling. This scent will take you there and has quickly become a bestseller. This one is just a perfect winter scene. It's got just enough snow and frostiness, just enough pine to it, and just enough cold and winter vibes. I love the hell out of this blend. I really, really do. Just ask Dessa. I love this blend. Soaring Above. This one is Hang Glide over the shores of Malibu. The fragrant orange groves bursting with citrus, the massive redwood trees, and it's inspired by the Soaring Over California ride. I have not had this one before, but if you like fresh, woodsy orange, this one might be for you. Songbird, new one. A soothing, spa-like, refreshing blend of eucalyptus leaves, lush greens, marine notes of ozone, fresh rainwater, and sprigs of garden mint. I'm going to be trying this one because Dessa doesn't offer a lot of eucalyptus blends, and I don't see it a lot in wax anyways. I'm going for this one. I can't wait. Yes, please. This one will really be really good with coastal kale too, I think. But I want to smell it by itself first. Strawberry pound cake. She has this one on her list all the time because everybody loves strawberry pound cake. This one's a BBW dupe. Next is sugar, milk, and cookies. I've had this one before. This one is rich cookies with caramelized sugar dunked in a sweet glass of warmed milk. Nothing sour with the sweet milk. I can attest to that. This is a rich sugar cookie scent, basically. I like that one. Sugared zucchini streusel, one of her best sellers. A delicious blend of sugar cookies, zucchini bread, and cinnamon streusel topping. Like I said in the beginning of the video, sorry, I had to dab my nose there. Like I said in the beginning of the video, Dessa zucchini bread is not, it doesn't have a spicy or a harsh note to it. It's very creamy and rich. So this one here, if you like ultra rich and you like the bread and the sweetness from the zucchini bread, but not necessarily the spice profile that some oils have, try this one. The cinnamon is not aggressive. It's sweet cinnamon. It's sugary. It's scrumptious. Next is Sweet Lavender Beach. This is Beach Nights in Lavender. I've had this one before. It's a classic. If you like those two, you've probably had that one already too. Sweet Macerated Strawberries is strawberries with sugar and the sweet syrup that naturally releases from that. This is one that's been used 1,000,000 times and it's been blended 1,000,000 times on customs. I see this one's blended all the time. We all love Strawberry Bakery for the most part. If you haven't smelled this one before, just get a tile or get a breakaway bar. And if you like strawberry, that is, go for it. It's fantastic. Tea by the Sea. This one's coming home with me. This one is rich black tea leaves steeped with bergamot and spices, sweet orange and almond cake, salty sea air, and lavender. So this one here is tea and cakes with lavender and salty sea air. Yes, please. Love it, love it, love it. When I first joined Vendor Wax, I didn't like tea and cakes, but now I do. I love it. I love tea, but it was something with, I don't know what it was, but as a lot of you can attest to, what you liked when you first got into Vendor Wax and what you might like now might have changed. What might have been just added on to the list of things you like, or maybe now you're sick of something. You guys can relate to me in that way. I like tea and cakes now. Vanilla Voodoo, bestseller, House Blend of White Birch, Madagascar Vanilla, Warm Sandalwood, and Vanilla Cream. Take it from this girl who is not a vanilla person. This is a really good vanilla. It's one of the best vanilla blends out there. It's not bakery. It's not spicy. It's not really even woodsy. It's one of a kind. One of a kind. Versailles. Like the Garden of Versailles, sweet, delicate orange blossoms and fresh green grass. That one is as beautiful as a summer's day. Springtime, summertime, fresh, cleaning day, Versailles. Yes. Watermelon mint spritzer. This one is new. This one is fresh lime juice muddled with mint leaves, sugar crystals, watermelon, and hints of fizzy effervescence. So you have your mojito with watermelon and a little bit of fizz. Next is winter chestnut brioche. Love a good brioche. This one is indulgent buttery brown sugar, chestnuts, apples, and brioche bread. So we have our brown sugar and chestnuts, brioche, and apple. I can't really describe that one. I haven't had apple and roasted apple and roasted chestnuts and brown sugar before, but I bet it would be good. That one's coming home with me. I'm intrigued by that one. Next is Winter Snow Globe. We're almost done here. Next is Winter Snow Globe. This one is super popular. It's sugar cookies, vanilla bean Noel, gooey marshmallow fluff, candy canes, and white chocolate. This one is super popular. I have had this one once in the Advent calendar, like she says, the 2022 Christmas Advent. With Dessa retiring this year, she might be able to do an Advent for Christmas. I'm not going to put words into her mouth or try to give her any hints, although she knows how much we loved her last Advent calendar. She just didn't have the time the last couple of years to do it. But this is my very first experience with that blend, and I liked it. I just haven't repurchased it. Probably because I want a little bit I think it needs a little bit more candy cane for my nose. But I know you guys love it. Maybe it's me that isn't picking up on it, but maybe I'll buy it again. You know, that's the beauty of having a smaller size. Next one is Winter Witch. This one is damp autumn leaves on the ground, crackling logs on the fire, marshmallows, cedar wood, and mac apple. This one, I don't remember if I've had this one before, but I'm really interested because I love cedar, I love apple, I love smokiness. That one is a beautiful blend of winter and fall, Winter Witch. And finally, Ye Old Witch House. This one is a haunting blend of vanilla voodoo, sweet cinnamon streusel, toasted marshmallows, and bonfire bliss. This one is a nice, smoky, sweet vanilla with a little bit of cinnamon. I've had this one and I really like it. So, okay, that's the blend breakdown list for Dessa's pre-order. Once again, it's Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, and I hope this video helped you out. If not, maybe you got a few laughs out of it, or change your list around, or added to, subtracted from, all those things. So thanks everyone for watching. I know I haven't made a lot of videos lately, but I'm getting back into my groove. So have a beautiful week ahead, and I'll see you soon.